Survivor is back with an all-new episode tonight on CBS. But before that, we need to catch up on what happened last week. So first up, the reward challenge. Okay, remind people how the reward challenge worked in this episode.
So the reward challenge, they were out on these little platforms in the water, probably not too far off from the shore, but they had to jump off, swim to it, the shore. Then there was this obstacle, I wouldn't say obstacle course really, but
it looks kind of fun.
Yeah,
you threw the ball up and then you had to run across.
You had to make sure you caught the ball. If it hit the ground, you had to do it again. And then after all of the teammates were on the other side, like had caught their ball, which they had to throw it here and catch it. Then they had to toss 3 rings onto, I don't know, what would you call it?
I don't know, some kind of whatever the term is. But here's the thing. So here's the celebration photo. This is the Lulu tribe. They've won literally nothing this entire season. They have been the biggest losers of losers. But here's the thing. They won, and it was super exciting for them. And it was cool because this reward challenge had they got I don't know, some kind of, it was like fruit
platter.
But they got a special reward on top of that, which was that they got to visit another tribe from the season and take anything they wanted. So we see Caleb go and visit the red tribe. And here's the thing, he was very, very smart and tactful about this, because not only did he get their fishing gear, I believe, but also he held individual meetings with every single member of the tribe, which I thought was super clever socially.
Well, and he also had that little reward to give somebody as well.
Yes.
Where he could give somebody back their vote if they lost it. And he ended up giving it to Drew.
Yes.
Who is really close with Austin, who doesn't have his vote. So now Austin's like, I have my vote back.
Yeah, the optics of that socially were really, really impressive to me. So then we end up at the immunity challenge. And here's what's funny, is you never really know how these challenges are gonna go, especially coming off that strong Lulu win with the reward. But in this obstacle course, Lulu loses again, which was interesting. Okay, now I want to say really fast though, so we see Bruce play in this challenge, and I know you have some strong thoughts on Bruce.
He's just kind of arrogant.
He's very arrogant.
And he's very he was next to, I think, the Lulu tribe, like Bellows was, and he was like, get out of my way to one of them. And it's like, dude.
A major know-it-all. As a refresher, he was the one who was on last season, got a concussion, so was sent home medevaced. But so we see Lulu lose again, and here's the very interesting thing about them losing, is that the dynamics of this tribe have changed every single episode.
Constantly.
Yeah, so if you've been keeping up with the season, you know that this tribe has been to tribal council since the premiere every single week. But it's fascinating to me because the dynamics have changed. So you see like Sabaya and Cabe were really close week 1. And you see Emily was kind of the outlier, the very pessimistic kind of negative one.
Now she's kind of gotten in close with Caleb.
Yes, weeding in with Caleb. And Caleb recognizes that Emily is a good ally to him as well, which is interesting. But then you kind of have like Sean, who's kind of I would almost say the outlier now. Like he just kind of plays the middle. Exactly. And so it's funny because you really have no idea what's going to happen. The other crazy twist though about this is Sabaya has this idol, but it's kind of like a weird idol, if you will. It's a candle that has to burn.
Yeah, she has to melt it to get to the idol.
Yes, but the funny thing about that is that they haven't won anything, so they haven't had their fire the whole season. So when they get to tribal council, Sabaya puts the candle in the fire at tribal to try and get the idol.
Which I thought was weird. I felt like that was kind of cheating since it wasn't your own fire, but...
It was kind of a weird move, but I think, as I was telling you earlier, I think it's one of those things where the whole tribe knew at that point, so it wasn't like it was like this huge secret that was revealed. But what was also interesting, is that Sabaya was she melted the candle, got the idol, but she was so secure in what she thought was happening with the dynamics of the tribe that she used the idol, right? So she didn't have a vote.
She saved it because the idol...
She saved it, yes.
Because this is the same as Austin's idol. They could either, they had to use it that next tribal, or they could use it, save it, not vote, and it would go to merge, or they could save it, not vote twice, and go to the final 5.
Absolutely.
She decided to save it.
So she decided to save it, and then she ends up getting voted out because she got outplayed by Caleb and Emily, which was really interesting.
I liked the twist.
I did too. I thought it was a good finish. And here's the thing. Emily is super negative and a little bit scary to me.
Yeah.
But overall, I think she's actually a really strong player. To tease tonight's episode a little bit, in the preview for this week, they show that we are seeing the first pre-merged tribe swap, which I think is going to be super exciting because it's going to change the whole dynamic of the cast. We're going to see alliances shift and a lot of crazy things happen. So this has been a really good season. I'm really excited to see where it goes.